Ever walked into a team meeting, feeling totally prepared, and then bam, it just gets completely derailed by like one person? Or maybe you felt that familiar frustration, hitting a wall with a colleague no matter how hard you try. That feeling of confusion, maybe even helplessness when you're dealing with someone who just seems, well, difficult. Today, we're going to unpack a guide that promises to turn that frustration into actual understanding, giving you not just labels, but real practical tools. Welcome to the Deep Seek Diaries, your shortcut to being well-informed and getting those, moments that can really make a difference. Today, our deep dive focuses on a really insightful book, The 9 Types of Difficult People, How to Spot Them and Quickly Improve Working Relationships by Nick Robinson.
Yeah, this book offers a profound but remarkably practical look into workplace dynamics. It's really aimed at anyone who's ever thought, this person is difficult. Our mission here is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from this source, give you actionable insights, tools to help you navigate those, challenging interactions more effectively. Ultimately, it's about transforming those working relationships and, boosting your own success, and not just yours, the whole team's really.
Before we go on, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. This podcast is known as the Deep Seek Diaries, and you can find us on the major social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Linked in the description section are all the resources in discussion today, including books, websites, and so on. Please go through our terms and conditions as soon as you can. Now sit back and enjoy the podcast. Okay, let's really dive into this book's core promise then. Feels like it goes much deeper than just pointing fingers or sticking labels on people, right? It's more about understanding the why.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the key. The book isn't just like a list of difficult types. It's more a comprehensive guide to decoding human behavior at work. It lays out 9 distinct types of difficult people. And what's really fascinating, I think, is it includes this quick quiz.
A quiz.
Yeah, a quiz designed specifically to help you, the reader, work out which personality type you're actually dealing with. So, for instance, it identifies the steamroller, you know the type, someone who just dominates conversations, interrupts constantly, pushes their own agenda hard.
Oh, yeah, I think we all know a steamroller.
Right. Or maybe on the other end of the spectrum, you might encounter the martyr, the person who's always highlighting their sacrifices, their workload, maybe to get sympathy or avoid taking responsibility.
Okay, I see.
So this isn't just abstract theory. It's about practical, actionable identification right out of the gate. It helps you ask specific questions like, do they interrupt a lot? Or do they shut down other views?
Or do they complain about their workload even when you offer help, making you feel kind of guilty?
Precisely, that sort of thing.
So, okay, once you've used the quiz, maybe, and pinpointed who you're interacting with, what then? Is it just, okay, now you know, good luck? Or does it actually give you strategies?
This is where it gets really interesting. This is where the book truly shines, I think. It gives you specific practical tools and techniques. And they're tailored for communicating effectively with each specific type.
Tailored, okay.
Yeah. So for that steamroller, the book might suggest, say, techniques like structured interruption.
Structured interruption. How does that work?
Well, instead of fighting fire with fire, getting into a shouting match, you learn to politely but firmly redirect the conversation. You might say something like, I hear your point and it's important, but let's make sure everyone gets a chance to contribute before we decide. Something like that.
Okay, so firm but respectful.
Exactly. Or for the martyr, it might be about validating their contribution, then redirecting. So you acknowledge their effort first. Perhaps, I know you've put in a lot of hours on this and we really appreciate that. You validate them and then you gently shift the focus back to the task. Now, regarding the next steps for the project, how can we best move forward together?
I see. So you address the underlying need, maybe, but keep things on track.
Precisely. The book helps you decode the warning signs, too, through, engaging stories and concrete examples of behavior. And it even includes short exercises to help you build the right mindset for success when you're dealing with these individuals. It's truly about equipping you with strategies, not just, insights.
That's a powerful shift, isn't it? From just identifying to actively strategizing. You mentioned mindset for success and understanding what's really going on behind a difficult persona. Can you elaborate on that a bit? What does that mean for listeners?
Absolutely. Yeah. Understanding what's really going on means shifting your perspective, moving away from seeing their behavior as just malicious or intentionally annoying.
Which is easy to do sometimes.
Oh, definitely. But instead, recognizing that it often stems from something else. maybe underlying insecurities, fears, or perhaps an unconscious need for control or attention, like a steamroller might actually be driven by a deep anxiety about failure, or a martyr might genuinely feel undervalued.
Yeah.
And knowing that allows you to respond from a place of, well, strategy and maybe even a little empathy rather than just reacting emotionally.
Which is crucial for keeping your cool.
Totally. It's critical because it helps you protect your own standards, your own well-being. The book guides you to cultivate this mindset where you approach these interactions more like solvable puzzles. It empowers you to choose your response rather than getting sucked into their drama, It's about maintaining your composure and your influence.
So it's not just a passive read at all. It sounds like it's designed to be really interactive, encouraging you to actually apply what you learn. What about the overall structure of the book and the author's background? Does that add to its effectiveness?
Yeah, the structure is really skillfully put together. And what stands out, I think, is that it's written with a lot of heart and compassion. You don't always find that in, say, business books.
Cool.
Reviewers consistently praise its easy and friendly approach. They say it's easy to read, even hard to put down. And it's designed almost like a handbook, something you'd want to keep on your desk, a go-to reference text, really, because it's so clear and practical.
Like a quick consultation guide.
Exactly. You can easily dip back into specific sections when you need them. That makes it a really practical tool, not just a one-time read.
Now, the author, Nick Robinson. What makes him the expert to guide us through these, let's face it, often frustrating human dynamics?
Well, Nick Robinson's been working as an executive coach since 1999, so that gives him, over 2 decades of practical, hands-on experience in this field. He coaches people in big companies, small businesses, across private, public, even third sectors, so a really broad range. And his extensive background clearly informs the book's content. He's focused on helping people make their management and team roles as effective and fulfilling as possible, and specifically guiding them through those rough patches or dealing with difficult colleagues. That's his wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
He also offers extra stuff beyond the book, like videos and an online quiz, which shows he's really committed to helping improve workplace relationships ongoingly.
Right.
And the publisher, Pearson Education, they also have a clear focus on personal and professional development, so it all aligns nicely with the book's aim.
Okay, given all that, who would really benefit most from this deep dive? Who is this book really for?
Well, the book explicitly says it's for anyone who has experienced a difficult person at work. So that's pretty broad.
Yeah, probably most is that.
Probably. But if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's also incredibly beneficial for leaders and managers at all levels, really. It's described as both an excellent self-help book because it has that direct personal application, and also an important one to help leaders and managers understand team dynamics.
Right.
The ultimate goal is really to enhance effectiveness at work and smooth out those relational dynamics that can cause so much stress, helping you not only lead better, but also just be a more effective team member yourself.
I hope you're enjoying the topic so far. Please subscribe to the DeepSeek Diaries and like this video. Don't forget you can find us on the major social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Linked in the description section are all the resources in discussion today, including books, websites, and so on. That sounds incredibly valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond just reading it, what are the actionable steps, the concrete takeaways someone can implement pretty much right away after engaging with this?
Yeah, the practical application is absolutely central here. It's not just theory. Beyond that initial quiz we talked about, it offers clear methodologies, ways to diagnose, address, and hopefully resolve problems within teams.
So can you give an example?
Sure. It might walk you through a scenario where a colleague is constantly the complainer, always finding fault, never offering solutions.
Yeah.
Familiar, the book helps you understand that their complaining might actually stem from feeling powerless or maybe a fear of taking initiative. Then it offers a specific strategy, maybe something like empathetic challenge.
Empathetic challenge.
Yeah. So you acknowledge their frustration, the empathy part. I understand you're frustrated with this situation. But then you immediately pivot to asking, okay, what specific steps do you think we could take to improve this? See, you shift the burden
from passive complaining to active problem solving.
Exactly. It puts the onus back on them, but in a collaborative way. The book really empowers you to navigate these situations without compromising your own standards or well-being. That's key.
Yeah, that's important. It's not about changing yourself.
Right. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about changing how you interact. It provides these actionable strategies that are useful no matter your level of experience, enabling you to assess yourself and others, and maybe even help drag colleagues out of their pitfalls, as one reviewer put it. It fundamentally aims to change how you approach challenging interactions, moving you from frustration to, well, proactive and effective solutions.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about what other readers think. Looking at the Amazon page for the 9 types of difficult people, it holds a pretty impressive score, right? 4.7 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, based on 12 global readings currently, and a strong 85% of those are 5-star reviews, that definitely suggests a really positive sentiment overall.
That's very high. What's the vibe in the actual reviews?
Well, what's consistently highlighted is its practical usefulness, how directly applicable it is. Many reviewers say things like, "You'll wish you'd read it earlier." That came up a few times.
Always a good sign.
Definitely. One reviewer even called it a secret weapon to understanding yourself and those around you. They praised its positive and painless approach to improving your spheres of influence.
A secret weapon. I love that. That's quite a statement.
Yeah.
What other themes or specific comments stood out, particularly maybe from people in professional roles?
Well, several reviewers, including someone described as a master executive coach, comment seminal.
Seminal, wow.
Yeah, seminal in its capacity to influence leadership thinking. They even compared it to Covey's 7 Habits for its connection to real-life situational leadership. That's high praise.
That's huge praise comparing it to Covey.
It really is. Another business coach called it a thought-provoking manual and highlighted the clarity of the writing, which we talked about, confirming it makes the book a pleasure to read, and reinforcing that idea of it being a go-to reference text you'll keep coming back to.
So it's clear it's more than just a casual read. It's seen as a foundational tool.
Absolutely. It really seems to resonate deeply with people in practical roles, leadership, management, coaching.
Any other examples?
Yeah, there was a manager, someone with 30 years of international experience, who stated it offers clear, actionable strategies for dealing with challenging personalities in a real professional setting. They called it incredibly useful for any level of experience and noted there's so much to learn packed into it.
That's a strong endorsement from someone with that much experience.
Yeah, for sure. And then, maybe simplest of all, another reviewer just flat out said it was the best book I read in 2023.
Wow.
Which kind of raises an important question, doesn't it? If so many different people, especially experienced professionals, find it this impactful, what does that really mean for how we perceive and interact with colleagues we might label difficult?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Well, it strongly suggests that a fundamental positive shift in perspective isn't just possible. It's actually highly attainable with the right tools and understanding.
This deep dive into the 9 types of difficult people has been really, really illuminating. It's so clear this isn't just, another dry management book. It feels much more like a thoughtful, genuinely practical guide to fostering more effective, maybe even more fulfilling relationships at work, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and better team dynamics.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, maybe the book's most profound insight is just how few individuals are intentionally trying to be difficult. Often those behaviors we find challenging are really just unconscious coping mechanisms or reactions driven by their own internal stuff, their fears or insecurities.
Well, it's not usually personal.
Exactly. And by understanding those underlying dynamics and then actually using the practical tools Nick Robinson provides, you really can transform perceived problems, turn them into opportunities for growth, stronger connections, not just for you, but for the whole team. It empowers you to help create a more harmonious and ultimately more productive environment.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, it means you genuinely have the power to change your working world, one interaction at a time, just by understanding, adapting, and applying these kinds of insights. Imagine the positive ripple effect that could have on your career, your team, even just your own day-to-day well-being. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the DeepSeek Diaries. Please don't forget to check out the linked resources in the description section. Hit the subscribe and like buttons as you head off if you haven't already. Until the next episode, goodbye.